Somebody's gonna alert you to it.
Right, but it made it kind of like a cross between a stew and a paella. You know?
Yeah.
It had that type of flavor of paella. Okay. Here's,
Right. When's that thing start at 6?
ready to go? 7 o'clock, right?
More minute?
Isn't it 7?
Just turned
Huh?
7.
7?
7. Okay. You ready? Matt? You ready?
Rudy, you should move your Pepsi bottle.
Yep. Okay. Okay, the 7 p.m. work session meeting of the Wyckoff Township Committee for Tuesday, October 18th, 2022 is now in session. Roll call, please.
Mr. Madigan?
Here.
Mr. Melchiong?
Here.
Ms. Rubenstein? Here. Mr. Shanley?
Here.
And Mayor Boonstra.
Here. I think everything has been signed, it looks like. Good to go?
Yes.
Everything's been reviewed and signed. Okay. I will open the meeting for public comment.
Rudy, I gotta read my thing.
Oh, you're right, sorry.
This regular work session meeting of the Wyckoff Township Committee is now in session. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting appears on our annual schedule of meetings. A copy of said annual schedule has been posted on the bulletin board in Memorial Town Hall. A copy has been filed with the municipal clerk and has been posted on our municipal website. A copy has also been emailed to the Record, the Ridgewood News, and the North Jersey Herald News, all newspapers having a general circulation throughout the Township of Wyckoff. At least 48 hours prior to this meeting, the agenda thereof was similarly posted, filed, and emailed to said newspapers.
Thank you, Nancy. So anxious to get to our proclamation, I was getting ahead of myself here. Now, we'll open the meeting for public comment. 10 minutes total, 2 minutes per speaker, for any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of Wyckoff. So I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Ms. Rubenstein? Yes. Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Boonstra.
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Thank you. If you have a comment, please step forward to the microphone, state your name and address, or if you are not here, you can call 201-891-7000, extension 2220, if you wish to make a comment.
Hi, Elsa Carbone, 4208 Bromley Place. I just want to thank all of you and the fire department and the EMS and anybody else who was involved in having the best grand finale that I have ever seen at the fireworks. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It was good, wasn't it?
Glad you enjoyed it. We'll pass that along.
Fireworks.
Fireworks Committee, Tim is our chairman. Tom is, as fire commissioner, is also on the Fireworks Committee, so we'll thank them here now. We'll pass the rest of it along. Anyone else?
Seeing and hearing no one else, I move to close public comment.
Second.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Ms. Rubenstein?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Boonstra.
Okay, now, we have present with us members of the 2022 Tigers softball team of the Wyckoff Men's Softball League, who I understand are all kids at heart anyway, so we welcome you guys here, and we thank you. So I have a proclamation here that I'm going to read, and then we'll invite you all up here. And I see your captains are with you, and we'll have a little presentation and take some photos. So let me read this first, though. Whereas, on August 11th, 2022, the 2022 Tigers of the Wyckoff men's softball team captured their second straight championship by defeating the Braves in a dramatic fashion in the final game of the 2022 double elimination tournament by a score of 7-2. And whereas this close-knit, multifaceted team, which thrived in large part because of its strong chemistry both on and off the field, rounded their season off with an overall record of 11 wins and 4 losses, including a thrilling regular season wins over the top teams in the league and a registered to a 4-1 record to close out the year. And whereas this team includes 2 father-son combinations, 4 players which have been in the league since its inception, and players ranging in age from 30 to over 60. And whereas this team competed hard 2 to 3 times a week for 3 months, despite pulled muscles, bruises, and overall exhaustion, especially the 60-year-olds. And whereas this special thanks is extended to the wives, children, parents, and friends for their strong support all season long. And whereas this special group of athletes includes Michael Amendola, Larry Berger, Stephen Brown, Jesse Cohen, Dan Catola, Philip Feldman, Jason Freeman, Michael Hamburg, Russell Katz, Evan Kraus, Robert Lewis, Bill Lynch, Joe Morelli, Raf Morrow, Josh Prell, Michael Rivera, Tom Salvaggi, and the team captains Andy Winston and Jeff Freeman have achieved this extraordinary accomplishment by virtue of their commitment to unselfish team play and outstanding softball skills. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Township Committee of the Township of Wyckoff, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, that the 2022 Tigers of the Wyckoff men's recreation softball team are congratulated on behalf of the entire Wyckoff community for the significant success they have achieved, and our thanks are offered for showing great sportsmanship and camaraderie to teammates and opponents alike, and for illustrating the rewards that can be achieved through the commitment with diligence and pursuing excellence. Thanks, guys. Now, I want to mention this is signed by me over the names of the Wyckoff Township Committee who was here: Tom Madigan, Pete Melchione, Melissa Rubenstein, and Tim Shanley. So why don't you come up here for your congratulations.
Mayor, you caught us on surprise. We had no idea we were going to do this tonight.
You thought it was next month?
We tend to dress alike, so.
That's the camaraderie.
Surprises are always nice, Andy. You know that. Congratulations. Nice to see you guys.
Well, you made, I saw you walking your dog this morning. Wasn't that you? Huh? We didn't want to insult you guys by bringing a Ben Gates.
So, hold on a minute.
Well, we know our spots. We know our spots. Are we ready to do the photo or the proclamation?
Well, I was going to do a proclamation, but we'll do the photo first.
We have plenty of film.
Okay, why don't we, hold on. Where's the ad?
We're rolling. We're rolling.
Well, we know what to do.
Yeah.
We have Kodak film.
We don't
We're
want
the,
to block you
one of
guys.
the captains here in the middle. Let's film.
Right.
Wait, wait.
We're going in the middle. Just make sure we don't block you.
We got it.
Somebody trying to get back.
Publicist, Andy?
All right. Suitable for framing. Congratulations. There you go. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
See you next year.
Thank you.
Three-peat. You want a three-peat?
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congrats again.
Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank
get the date of,
I just sent it over, get it out. Corrections and stuff.
I figured change it on the floor.
Sure, it's gonna changed a few times, but
Steve wants to know, does this guarantee any kind of like privileged parking in town or anything?
No,
Not
no, but if you get pulled over by any of the police force, just show it to them.
Thank you again, it was very nice.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
you.
Nice goodwill.
It was.
very nice.
Okay, Matt, 8 PM meeting? Over there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There are, goodness, I have the right agenda in front of me, hold on. Two ordinances for introduction this evening. First is an ordinance moving some appropriations that are in our capital improvement fund and our capital fund balance fund for the availability, to make them available for the purchase of police vehicles. The reason for this is the vehicles are opening up, the vehicle ordering window is opening up earlier and earlier, and we have to be ready for when it opens up. It might open up in November, it might open up in December, it might open up next year, but we need to be ready. So this will move the money that we have sitting in our capital reserves right now, so that we can cut a purchase order when necessary.
How many cars are on back order at this point?
We have two that are not really on back order, they're getting upfitted.
Okay.
One should be complete this week, and one maybe next week.
And are there any behind that we've ordered that are just in the queue?
No.
Or those are our
Those are the
last two?
Those are the two from this
The
year's
last two,
budget.
those were
Okay, good.
those were
The one thing that we're gonna have to
2022
get
cars.
in the habit of is at the, when we're budgeting cars in the current year's budget, it's actually to purchase the cars for next year.
Right.
Because until the auto manufacturer gets back up and running to the way they used to be, if they ever get back there, they're giving a very short window, and the dealers are not ordering spare vehicles like they used to, where we used to be able to just walk on the lot and buy them,
We know our time lag is like 9-10 months at this point.
at least. The second ordinance is to amend chapter 157, specifically having to do with the material used for the sewer laterals. Currently, our ordinance does require sewer laterals to be made out of, to be constructed only of ductile iron pipe, where we have allowed PVC in the past. This now just gives the engineer the discretion when the property owner is applying for construction, for a permit, as to what gets used. Ductile iron pipe prices have skyrocketed these days, so this is more having to do with trying to save the homeowners some money. It's already permitted in the residential site improvement standards, so. Under ordinances, there's several ordinances for this evening. Ones that I'm going to just highlight, 249, we've been, 246 through 249, some of them are release of performance bonds, and then 249
You're
has.
talking resolutions. not
Yes, I'm sorry,
ordinances. Yeah,
resolutions. 249 has to deal with various unidentifiable, unnamed, and unclaimed escrow deposits that we have in our accounts for years. We are going to be canceling them to the current fund, and if somebody down the road can come and claim them and prove that it's theirs, the refund will be made out of the current fund. But this is mostly just to try and clear up some of our bookkeeping. 250 is the closeout of contract for the 2022 road resurfacing project. That project was completed, as we mentioned at the last meeting, and this is just the closeout. We received our maintenance bond, so we'll be releasing the performance bond. 251, 252 is release of maintenance security sureties. 253 is our voucher list. 254 is our standard overpayment returns. 255 is our contract award for the recycling of leaves. This is the composting contract we have with Admas Farm. I'm pleased to report that this is another 5-year $0 contract to the taxpayers. It's a great service that's provided to us by Adamus Farm in return for the leaves. Towns that have to pay to dispose of their leaves pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get their leaves taken care of. So this is a great benefit for the residents and the taxpayers. 256 through 259 executes an extension on our contracts for the various camps through recreation. 260 authorizes an agreement, an execution of an agreement with Police App. This is the app that we're going to use going forward it's an online program for the applicants, new hires, potential new hires to the police department. Not saying we're hiring right now, but this is at least we can get up and running. Will apply through the online app. All the background process will be done through there. It's to streamline it and put it in a workflow fashion. 261 authorizes us to pay for non-participant sewer laterals on the Hillside, Evers Court, and Newton Road, Paul Court project. And C8 authorizes resolution for this evening. There are several motions on the agenda. We'll read them in detail in the next meeting. And that's all I have for the 8 p.m. agenda.
Thank you,
I
Matt.
do have a report, though. And if you can
Yeah.
give me 1 second. Computer logged out on me. I'm going to start off with a very important announcement. If anybody is interested in being seasonal help in the DPW, specifically now with leaf season upon us, please consider applying. Our application is available online. You can reach out to my office or the clerk's office, and we can guide you through or answer any information any questions you might have. As I already mentioned, we received bids for the renewal of our concession for the marketing of leaves, which is on the agenda for this evening. We also received bids for solid waste, recycling, and vegetative waste collection services on September 29th. Those prices that were proposed are astronomical, and we will be discussing those this evening and deciding how we are going to move forward. Speaking about astronomical prices, the State Health Benefits Program rates have finally been released, and we are now in the open enrollment phase as required by the program. Our initial projections show an increase to the township premiums of about $500,000 for 2023. Nancy and I, along with our risk manager, Chris Rossi, and representatives from all of our neighboring Northwest Bergen towns met last week for a presentation with the Bergen Bergen Health Insurance Fund. It's a joint insurance fund specifically having to deal with health insurance for a presentation on what they can offer us. We are costing out a move off state health benefits. However, those proposals are still a few weeks out before we can start analyzing them, and then of course bring them back to our labor unions because everything has to be approved. I mentioned our road paving program is complete. We are awaiting the final road survey to be completed by Boswell. My understanding is it is substantially complete, and we are just waiting on some final touches that they are putting on it. Hopefully we'll get that next week. Finance has gathered all the items required in order to submit the final reimbursement application to New Jersey DOT for the Mountain Avenue closeout. It will be sent to Boswell by the end of the week, so that can be sent off to the state so we can get our funds reimbursed on that. PSE&G is finishing up the gas main replacement that they've been working on for several months here in town. Once that is complete, PSE&G will be contributing to the township an amount that we are currently still working out to pave the affected streets next year once the trenches have settled. Work is progressing on the snack stand near Memorial Field. We have drawings for the press box and are awaiting permits. Today is the last day to register for the upcoming November general election. The last day to register to vote by mail is November 1st. 2023 budget prep is in full swing. The department managers are currently working on updating their narratives, capital item requests, and requested line item budgets so that Diana and I can begin to review them with the Finance Committee. I can tell you that just by the numbers from solid waste and recycling, along with the health benefit increases, we are projecting it is going to be a very, very tough budget year for every department. Added omitted tax bills were mailed by the collector on Monday. They are due around November 1st. The Shade Tree Commission met this evening, and they are in the process of finalizing the list of trees that needs to be attended to this year, either by trimming or pruning or removal. And we will be shortly going out to bid for the necessary work. Some of the emergent work has already been completed under the Bergen County Cooperative Contract, and we are confident that going out to bid, for certain trees and specific trees will be more cost effective to the township. A more precise timeline will be made available by the next Township Committee meeting, at which point I also hope to be out to bid. Work is needed to replace the large pipe under Clinton Ave near the pond, at the culvert. DPW has already received the new pipe, and we are awaiting the contractor to be able to mobilize to do that. That roadway will be closed for a couple days to complete the job, and we will make sure that we send out ample notice when we do need to do that. The county has informed us that the long-awaited grip pavement on Russell Ave at Helena will be installed in the upcoming weeks. It was actually supposed to be done this Saturday, but the police department has requested that they reschedule the work for a weekday after school is in session and be done before school dismisses. We are waiting on a new date. It was mentioned at the last meeting that there's a noise issue with the pickleball courts. I have been in contact with the manager in Ridgewood as to what they have done, and I'm just waiting on some follow-up on how the remediation, and if it has worked there, and I'll have more information at the upcoming meeting. We have met with Dish, who is a cell provider who is looking to be a new tenant on the cell towers at both Memorial Field and Route 208. Their equipment will be completely within the confines of the compound. We are working with our attorney to prepare the necessary bid specifications, to bid out the leases, and will hopefully be out to bid shortly to get some new tenants. When with that, T-Mobile has advised us that since they merged with Sprint, they've transferred everyone from the Sprint network over to their T-Mobile network, and they will be terminating their Sprint lease on our Route 208 Russell Ave tower on February 18th, 2023. More budget. More for our
Lots
budget.
of revenue.
We'll talk about it.
The latest review of our 2022 application for recertification under the Sustainable Jersey program was reviewed by the staff at Sustainable Jersey. We were short of silver by 10 points. However, we were able to submit clarification on a few items, which was done today, and we are confident that we will be recertified at silver and plan to be recognized at the annual Sustainable Jersey Luncheon at the League of Municipalities in November. Preparation for the 2022 calendar is underway. Denise is working diligent with our graphic designer. We have received a good number of sponsorships. Still not where we were years ago, but we do have more than we got last year. There are only a few items left that need to be taken care of, including getting a few more pictures, and in order that we will have a draft for everyone to review. On September 17th, we held our fall Wyckoff Recycling Shred Fest Day from 9 to 11:30 at the DPW yard. 301 cars participated in the confidential paper shredding. 10,380 pounds of paper were collected with 2 different vendors. Styrofoam, we collected 30 cubic yards of styrofoam, which was collected and transported to polymolding for recycling. And the medicine take-back program, 19 pounds of medication and unused drugs were recovered by the police department for the medicine project, Project Medicine take-back Project Medicine Box program. Leaf collection started this past Monday. Our final white goods collection for 2022 will be Wednesday, October 26th. Ridgewood Water is conducting their annual hydrant flushing beginning this past Sunday through Monday, October 29th, weather permitting. An estimated schedule of flushing routes can be searched on their interactive website at water.ridgewoodnj.net, and flushing does occur overnight. We did put information in our e-news. Residents can find it there. We have had communication we've had a communication issue with the scoreboard at Memorial Field. It was determined to be a programming issue. Instructions on how to rectify the problem in the field in the future have been laminated, distributed to all the coaches, and has now been posted in the snack stand. And finally, 2 things actually. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Each year, Mary Ellen in our clerk's office donates the ribbons, and Anna, who also in our clerk's office, plants them on all the lampposts and trees around Town Hall to increase breast cancer awareness and to remind women to get their mammograms. And finally, the Wyckoff Environmental Commission is again doing the plastic bag film recycling challenge, which will be a little bit more of a challenge this year since we don't have a lot of plastic bags anymore. A collection, drop-dead collection date has not been set yet, but the receptacles have been put at the Wyckoff Public Library and here at Town Hall. And we are looking to collect another 500 pounds of plastic bags and film so that we can get another bench from Trex. And that is all I have.
Thank you, Matt.
Was it
That was a lot.
mouthful?
Yeah. Township committee reports. Pete, could we start with you tonight?
Sure, Mayor. I'll be brief. Matt hit on a bunch of the subjects already, so that's a good thing. Just want to report DPW's completing and their fall projects, doing a great job and gearing up for leaf season, which is a lot of work on their part. And then lastly, I missed the environmental meeting last night because I had the pleasure for doing a little barbecue for the fire department last night, which was hosted at company number 2, and that went well. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Pete. Tom?
Few items, mentioned the fireworks earlier, was a great night, successful night, the weather was perfect, fun night for families and friends. Thank you for the nice comments, and you know, it's really special, not only for the community, but again, the proceeds benefit a volunteer fire department, a volunteer ambulance squad, and police fund. Eagle Scout, I attended 2 Eagle Scout awards with the mayor. Could go into it more in depth. Colin Bradley and Colin Wheatman, congratulations to both of them. Fire Prevention Night was held here at Company 1, October 3rd. Despite the rain, it was a fun night, very well attended. A lot of young people, a lot of families. The kids had a good time. A lot of Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. So it was just a nice thing, and nice for our fire department to welcome people into the fire station and around the surrounding areas. So thank you all to the whole fire department in Wyckoff. I was at the K-8 meeting last night. It was very long, lively meeting. I'll leave it at that. Seniors, looking forward to a senior barbecue. That's coming up next Tuesday. And the senior group over at the Larkin House meets twice a month on Tuesday. Maybe the people of Spring Meadow want to spread the word a little bit. They seem to be getting a lot of traction, a lot of enthusiasm. And next week it's like a tailgate. So it'll be kind of like a fun event next Tuesday. Let's see what else I have. Company 3 beefsteak was a big success. Was able to attend that the other evening. Personally, I'm looking forward to Wyckoff Millen Park Rotary, which I'm in the Rotary. Our beefsteak, our annual beefsteak and big fundraiser is tomorrow night at the Brownstone. PBA Cornhole event is this Saturday, the 22nd. That'll be at the YMCA. And I too note the pink ribbons celebrating and recognizing Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I particularly thank Mary Ellen and all those that do it every year in remembrance of a lot of people. Thank you.
Melissa?
First, I want to mention, I want to congratulate Families for Families, who opened up a new headquarters and shopping place for families here in Wyckoff. And Rudy and Tom and Pete and I attended their ribbon cutting, so that was a really nice ceremony, and they're doing a great service for people not only in our town but the surrounding areas. Want to thank Pete for doing the tailgate barbecue for the fire department last night. We say it was the Township committee, but it really was all Pete doing that. But it was a great event and great to see everybody out last night.
Well appreciated.
The Brisky House Committee is meeting next week to kind of go over next steps for the house. Matt mentioned Shade Tree Committee, Finance Committee meeting this coming week to start planning for next year. Facilities, we're still waiting. Matt stepped out, but we're still waiting for our architect to kind of come up with some plans and to get us numbers for the roof, part of the roof, gutters. So we've been waiting quite a while for that. So hopefully this week we'll have what we need. And just been at the field a lot this fall for cheer and football, and everybody loves the new snack stand, locker room. Can't wait for the kitchen to come in when we get gas to have that hooked up, and really looking forward to the media stand. So that's it.
Thank you, Melissa. Tim?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to just thank you for the nice comment about the fireworks. It was a great event, and it's the third time I've been able to be part of that, and it was just like it was the last two times. They were very good fireworks, so thank you. And Matt, I want to thank you for the help that you did in helping bring that together. And one of the things I had heard is there weren't that many people watching them in Boulder Run, which is a good thing. They came to the field and they partook in some of the food that was there, and they were able to. It was a nice time for it to be just one large Wyckoff family where we got to enjoy the fireworks, and they were almost a half an hour long. It was a good show. So the fireworks were very good, and it was just a pleasant night, and it was just great to be. The only change that I would make next year is maybe move the speakers so they're not in front of the people walking in and walking out, because it was pretty loud. So that was the one thing. Maybe next year we'll position the speakers in a different position so that, people aren't walking by them and holding their ears. But it was a very good event, and I want to thank everyone for coming. The rec board met last night, and one of the things came up, the pickleball. They wanted to see if I told them the township committee hadn't met since the last time. So one of the things they brought up is they had researched it a little bit, and they want us to look into it. There are apparently things you could put on the fence that we don't know what the cost is, that can bring the noise down.
I believe that's what was done in Ridgewood. I'm
Yes,
trying to get some more details
that's
on
one of
that.
the things. So if we could take a look at that, that's one of the things. It was a short meeting. It wasn't a long meeting. Andy had announced that the baseball tryouts were finished, and they pretty much were letting the children know who made the team and who didn't. So. And, from the U9 children, which I have one of, 47 boys tried out for only 24 spots. And unfortunately, my son was one that he placed like 28, which means you're not on one of the teams. So anyway, he's got to look to play baseball somewhere else, which he might go through Teals, but we'll see. It's a good learning experience for the young boys. Football is going very well for all three levels, the juniors, the seniors, and the peewees. We're getting down to where the playoffs will be starting in a couple weeks, and everyone does love the snack stand, and the football boosters are doing well, selling hamburgers and hot dogs and drinks while people are there, and it's a good environment. What did I want to say? Oh, I just want to report, because I have a son playing football at Ramapo. He's not on varsity, he's on the freshman team, but the Ramapo varsity team beat the number one ranked Old Tapan this weekend. It was a big win because it keeps the Ramapo varsity still in the hunt for to get into the playoffs. And you know what? I have to announce the freshman team also beat Old Tapan, and they're doing very well too. So, having three boys at three different levels playing football means my weekends are pretty tied up going to football games in different locations. But anyway, it was a good event. Zoning meets on Thursday, so I don't have anything to report until our next meeting. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Tim. I will be very brief. I'm not going to repeat all of the events that everyone went to, because I think I attended most or all of them, and it was all good stuff, and I appreciate everyone who participated in organizing the events. I always say that there are three things or three activities that are really fun in serving as mayor. One is Boy Scout Courts of Honor, Eagle Scout Courts of Honor. The other is ribbon cuttings, and the third is officiating weddings. And since we last met, I officiated 2 weddings. I attended 2 ribbon cuttings, the Family to Family event, and Pepper 17 today on Everett Ave. And I, as Tom mentioned, attended 2 Eagle Scout Courts of Honor, Colin Bradley and Colin Weekman. So that was kind of the fun stuff I did since last time with the job, since we last met. I just have one report to make on the planning board. Last week, the planning board approved a rather extensive and complicated application by Adams Farm. And I only say this because I feel it's important that we do whatever we can to keep that in agriculture for for the township and for what it adds to the town, also for aforementioned arrangements like Matt mentioned that we have with the Adams Farm. And it's a 4-phase project, but the first phase is to build a pole barn that they need an additional pole barn to keep equipment in because their business is growing, and I'm glad we were able to do that. It's been in the works for about a year now, and we finally approved it last time. That's all I have. We have a lot on executives tonight, and I'm thinking if we have 25 minutes left to maybe, oh, I forgot Rob, sorry, Rob, sorry.
Thank you. So, over the last 2 weeks, I've done 4 developers agreements for sewer extensions on Colony Court, West Shore Drive, the barn property, and an extension off of it's gonna be a big extension, and another one on Wiley Place. And those agreements now have
great.
language that give flexibility with regards to the materials on the lateral if the engineer wants to change it from ductile iron to PVC. So, town continues to do a good job with these extensions. I also want to say, I mean, I spend time on Oprah request, and I spent probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours with Lieutenant Kasich the other weekend. Nancy and Kevin, and they do a tremendous amount of work with these Oprah requests. I mean, I think you know it, but I mean, I knew how much Nancy did. I don't think I really knew how much the police department does as well, and it takes a lot of his time. So he definitely deserves some credit. I didn't know Matt was working on it too, but I guess we're all kind of attacking this pickleball issue at the same time. I talked to the attorney from the Village of Ridgewood, and I guess the things they tried was a special ball, padding on the fence. They limited the hours, moved the hours up so people weren't playing so early. And I think they also might have moved the location of the pickleball court a little bit further away from the residentials. But I guess we're all waiting for the director to get back to us, tell us how effective it's been. I don't think the township attorney didn't think it was. I don't know how effective it's been, but we'll find out. And I would think the hours of operation are the easiest way to attack it first. And we talked about the football. I'll give a little shout out for Ramapo Soccer. They're playing the county championship on Saturday. They already have won more county championships, I think, than any other school in the county by far. And, Evan Baumgarten's probably one of the most, if not the most successful boys coach in the state. But they're at it again. They're number 1 seed, and they're playing Indian Hills, I think, 6 o'clock on Saturday, if anybody's interested.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
Thank you, Rob. Is there a fantasy league for pickleball yet?
There's a professional league.
I know.
There probably is.
Anyone else? Okay. Then, call for a motion to adopt resolution 22C8, to enter closed session discussion.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Ms. Rubenstein?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Boonstra?
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Now we need a motion to exit. Nope, we don't. We're gonna go into closed session, right?